Most persons use a thinking system that makes chess complicated. They try to calculate 5 moves ahead, memorizing openings and looking for crazy tactics. And then they blunder a piece out of nowhere. The truth, you don't need a complicated system to play chess better, guys. Alright? You just need a simple thought process that you can use every single move. And in this video, I'm going to show you the easiest thought process for playing chess. Something that anybody can use immediately to stop hanging pieces, spot simple tactics, and make solid moves with confidence, guys. Let's get right into this video. Feed and Master Raheem Glaves here. So for this video, I'll be showing you 2 games, guys. And it's just to demonstrate exactly, again, what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So you're going to be writing this down. You need to put pieces in this area of the board. Like, you want pieces crossing in that area, guys. That's how you get aggressive. You also want to remove your opponent's pieces from this area. Like, if you could stop your opponent's pieces from getting into this half, that's good. Also, if a piece is already there, just try to kick it out if possible. Second one is you're going to be checking to see what your opponent is threatening before you actually move. We're going to be going down into detail, and the last one is to ensure that everything is protected. Like, if you're putting a piece on an unprotected square, ensure that you're double checking it. I'm going to be showing you again exactly what I'm talking about for the thought process. So this is a Caro-Kann, not anything too, in depth. So we now had bishop to g4. So for the average person, they don't really automatically start asking themselves, like, why did my opponent play his last move? And this is where things go wrong. Black just placed a piece in his opponent's half. The first thing a master asks is like, what is that doing? And he's like, wait, is he threatening to take my knight? Because if queen takes, then there is knight takes d4. If you don't ask yourself this question and you just develop normally, then it's going to happen to you. So I told you again before, guys, that beginners basically do a lot of reactive chess. Like, you want planning, guys. You want ideas, moves that come with purpose. You need to have more control over the chessboard and really lock in, guys. So here, remember, the minute somebody makes a move, ask yourself, what's the threat? Like, what is my opponent trying to do with his last move? Now here, takes, pawn takes, and white already ruined his pawn structure. We had no a6 and e6. So remember, we're going into the game. We're trying to put pieces in this area. We saw what happened, guys. Like, a bishop, look at this. A bishop just crossed over there, and then damage was done, guys. You just want pieces going over there throwing bombs, We had no e6, bishop to f4. Remember, I also said this. You want to try to keep all your pieces protected, connected. If you have a lot of weak pieces or loose pieces all about the place, it's very easy to lose them. So you don't want to practice to have a lot of unprotected pieces all about the board. You could eventually again be hanging them. So we now had knight to e7. Let's look at black. Black is connecting everything. Knight to f5. What are we supposed to ask ourselves whenever our opponent plays first? Do we just randomly make a move, or do we ask ourselves, what is my opponent trying to do? So example, even if he plays knight e7, which looks weird, we check his forward moves to see if it's gonna lead to any damage. If not, then we continue with our own plans. Now, black just played knight f5. White could have calmly brought back his bishop, brought back his knight just to protect the pawn, but he is just focused on his own plans and simply castled the king. This is how you lose games quite quickly. Black, on the other hand, asked himself the same question. What is white threatening now? If the answer is nothing, then you continue with your own plan. Alright? Keep everything protected. Ask yourself, what is your opponent threatening before you move, and then you try to make moves again in your opponent's side of the board if the position presents itself to do so. If you are interested in 1v1 sessions, you could book through my website. The link is going to be in my description and pinned in my comments. RaheemGlaveschess.com. Also note that if your opponents don't have anything in your area of the board, it's going to be very difficult for them to attack. So that's also something that you want to keep in mind. You know, at knight to e2. Now, at the beginner levels, the minute they get a piece into this area, even for intermediate players as well, they start to trade off their advantage, which I am not a huge fan of, okay? You need to understand that by you trading your active pieces, you're giving up your advantage. Now, black wanted to play bishop to c5. Not saying that there's anything wrong with the move, but for the sake of this video, just remember that the technique is to try to keep everything protected. So we first had rook to c8 intermezzo. Now an intermezzo is an in-between move. It's a move you basically play before you play the obvious. Alright? So rook to c8. Oops. King over, and then bishop to c5. Now what's the difference? The bishop on c5 is now guarded by the rook. So we're having like every single thing protected. And when everything is protected in chess, it's very hard to blunder them. Now, what is white supposed to ask himself right now before he moves? He's supposed to be like, what is my opponent threatening with his last move? Bishop to c5. Answer is nothing, then you continue to improve your pieces. Now he took, not quite sure why. He is improving his opponent's pieces. So this is the benefit again of actually having a piece pointing in your opponent's half. You're able to actually get really dangerous or serious attacks. For this one it wasn't so serious, but at the same time it was an actual attack which ended white quite quickly. So we had our bishop to a3. And he's now threatening to take and take. But guess what? The bishop is protected. So what did black do? Did he move his king and castle and just continued with his life? Or did he ask himself, what is my opponent trying to do with his last threat? If you just see somebody like develop a piece and I'm just chilling, ask yourself the question, guys. What is he threatening? You're like, oh wait, he's threatening to take this. And if I take back, that's removing the guard of my bishop. So he played this move, q to b6, protecting the bishop. And let me see who is following. What is white supposed to ask himself? What is black trying to do? White just saw black play queen to b6 and he's like, wait, I don't see what black is doing. I am going to take his knight and then I'm going to take his bishop. That's how the average low elo player thinks. You need to adopt the new thinking system and not blunder checkmating one, because we ask ourselves, what is our opponent threatening? Now also realize again, because of black having active and protected pieces, he was able to formulate an attack. Now we're going to be going into a second example of somebody again that just does not know about this thinking system. Nightmare, guys. Let's get right into it. So I'm going to be showing a game roughly rated 600 plus going to 700 to show you how needed this is at that level. So let's go. Now, if you utilize the right thought process, chess will become a lot easier. Again, remember, especially at the beginner levels. So we know at e4, c6, and black played pawn to d5. And white doesn't know any theory. He's just like, all right, I'm going to be doing the regular stuffs. And he plays pawn to b3 to try to take out his bishop, but did not ask himself, like, as simple as it looks, it's move 2. What is black currently threatening? He played b3, suddenly lost a pawn. Also remember, like, if you need to watch this video twice to actually write down the things that I said, it's 3 to 4 simple steps, guys, and once you get it done, chess will become a lot easier. Whenever you're putting a piece on an unprotected square, check it, because moves like this is where things tend to go wrong. You just lost a piece. He developed. What is black supposed to ask himself? What is my opponent threatening? Is he threatening anything? Is there any knight to b5? What am I missing? The answer is nothing. We continue back with our development. Now, before white makes a move, he needs to ask himself, he needs to scan the board for like his unprotected pieces before he continues doing his stuff. In the game, he just simply attacked black's knight, black's queen. If black just does something normal and is like, alright, let's play e6, then he will lose his queen, right? That's what you don't want. Don't just play random moves. Ask yourselves, alright, what is my opponent trying to do? He's trying to win my queen. Alright, is there any unprotected pieces in the position? I see the rook on e1. He took it. We now had knight back to c3. Ask yourselves, what is my opponent trying to do? Answer is nothing. You continue. Now I am again a little careful when I'm putting a piece on an unprotected square. So he played d4. If the answer is nothing, be very careful of creating loose pieces, guys. Like, look, this guy just played pawn to d4, forgetting that this pawn was defending this. Ensure that everything is protected. So this died, and then, just like that, I'm probably assuming that his opponent will quit just soon, but obviously that's a joke. But come on, guys, you know what I'm talking about. Just ensure that you're utilizing this thought process, apply it in your games, like, share, and subscribe, and see you again another time, guys. Thanks for watching.